Hey, are we live? I think we are. Okay. Says everyone I'm in the show and everyone can see me. Okay, good. Well, hello there.
Yeah, you see
And
the little red button at the top? It says live.
oh yeah, uh-huh. Okay.
How you know?
That's how I know. Okay. Well, thanks. Now I just have to remember that because, those things get harder the older you get. It's just too much data. Too much data going in. Crazy. Along with all the data that you already have. You'll see, honey. Anyway, welcome to this is season 2, episode 6 of Crafting with Patti Bee, and thanks for joining me. It's always fun to do this show and share some of my craziness with you guys. So today we're going to do something that we call painting with paper or collage. It's a collage painting, and I have a friend, Judy, who is like just so talented and good at this. And so she was good enough to lend me some of her work. So I'm just going to show you what you can do with paper. Now we do use acrylics on the back. So this is kind of a background. It's done on watercolor paper, which is a nice thickness. And so you can do your backgrounds in any designs that you want. And then here's another one that shows a different background. I mean, how pretty is that? And that's just, painted background, and then she collages over that. This one is done with, let's see if we can put it up closer, with writing. The background is all done with writing that's been cut out. And underneath it she had painted this background orange. So in between the letters, the sentences, the words, you can see it kind of sticking out. So it's always a good idea to, have your get rid of the white. A lot of artists will do that with their canvases too. They'll paint. I know one artist paints in orange. I've been watching another gal, and she paints in red on the background, and then you cover it all up. So anyway, so here's one of some koi fish. And she likes to use magazine cutouts. So you can see there's quite a variety of things. How about this one? That's pretty cool, huh? So if you look at this one, it's outlined in a blue marker, and she does a lot of embellishments on top of the papers, and she's really good at geometrics and stuff. I wish I had her talent, but how about this guy? Her. Here she is, Miss Sal. So she's taught this in my Art Buddies group, and you could have the same picture, and everybody's can come out different. So what I like to do and say for myself, just go with it. Just go with it and see what happens. Let it be like a surprise, because so often, you think you're going to do something a certain way, and it doesn't come out that way. So I just like to see what comes. What's my style. So here's one we're going to work on today that I started. Now this drawing was taken from a gal on Pinterest, and she does a lot of cool things. And so it's her style. This didn't come out of my head. This came out of a different artist's head. Um, and of course, I can't remember her name, and I didn't write it down. But anyway, so you can see I did the background I just would free painted it. And then I decided this needed to be different. And then I put, it more green, whatever. And then I got this magazine um, that just has, it's not glossy. It's a flat paper. And it just has all these kinds of clothes and, things. So what I look at is I look at the background. I'm just looking at the colors, right? And so one of the tricks that Judy told us about, which is a really good trick, is to turn your magazine upside down. And then you're looking at color rather than the outfit. Because, you go through these outfits and you want them. You get distracted and you forget that you're looking for color. So upside down kind of gives you that idea. And you can look for like black and white on a color, or the color itself, or the shape. And what we do is we just tear. So before we get started on that, and I pulled out a bunch of papers that I'm going to use today. I wanted some blues and some blacks for the other dog because I thought maybe that would go. So like this is a small piece of her dress that could be used, and this one. So I just pull out some things that I think I might go. And this one has some black and white, and I thought, well, that might work too. So those are the papers I'm going to be working with. So in order to do this, I wrote up a little supplies that you're going to need. So you want to have some watercolor paper, fairly thick, 100 and 120, 140. You can get that at Michael's in a pad, or if you want to do a big one, you can get a sheet of watercolor paper. And then you'll want some acrylic paints. And we've worked with acrylic paints before, so any kind of acrylic paints will work. And you want to, have something to mix them on. So you can use a regular artist palette, which I do when I want to put a cover on it and save it for a couple of days, like I did in the last show. But you can also use these lids, or any kind of a plastic coated, a plastic coated paper plate. Styrofoam, if you're using good brushes, don't use styrofoam plates. We used to do that a while ago when I was first learning about acrylics. And what I found is they really are rough on your brushes, and they'll wear your brushes out quicker. So only in a pinch. Anyway, okay. So then you need a magazine, or a few magazines, and what we use for glue is something called a gel medium. Now, I have my favorite glue. My favorite glue somewhere. Oh. And this glue is glue that I love to use for my cards and a lot of things. But this glue is expensive. Definitely worth the money. You can't get it in the winter time in certain areas, because if it freezes, it loses its properties. So they don't mail it into a lot of places. I get it online. You can get it on Amazon, and there's a bunch of paper sites and, you know, any kind of creative site usually has a link to it because it's really popular. Okay, enough about that. So the gel medium won't yellow. If you use Elmer's, and you could, you know, but if you want it to last, then you don't want to use Elmer's because Elmer's will yellow with time. I think there's a clear Elmer's that you can probably use, but I haven't tried it. And I don't know if that holds up over time. But this gel medium is made to work with painting, you know, with acrylics. And so this acts as the glue and the varnish, both. And I happen to have a large jar of it. I'm not sure why I have a large jar. Probably bought it for something that I was planning on doing. So you want to have a paintbrush that's, you know, that can have glue on it. This is a pretty stiff one. It's called a soft grip. But anyway, so I've had that for a long time. And you'll want some water, you know, to rinse your brush, both for the acrylics, and you'll want different water for the glue to rinse your glue brush in, because you don't want to mix those up. I don't know if it would really harm anything, but I just keep them separate. You need some paper towels whenever you have water or paint. Paper towels, or you know, an old towel, or you know, some kind of a cloth. I'm not using acrylic paints right today because I already did the background, but you would need an apron or wear your old clothes. And what else? You want to have scissors nearby. Now, we're going to tear the paper, but sometimes you want to cut a section out, and scissors just makes it go faster for me. But, you know, some people are, you know, only rip and tear, no scissors. Some people just use scissors, and that's it. No tearing. It's up to you. You know, it's good to try all different ways, and then to see which one, you know, sits with you, which becomes your favorite and easiest to use. So it's all about, you know, art is really about experimentation and play. It's about play. For this one, I'm going to need a thick and a thin Sharpie on hand. I also have a white gel pen. And so you'll want to have some idea of an outline of what you're going to do. So for instance, I knew I was going to do this dog drawing, and you can see on this side, it's just a drawing, an outline. Not a lot of details in there, but just the general shapes of what I want. So you want to have that in mind before you start, and kind of think about the colors that you might use. Or just pick out colors for your background and then go with that, which is what I think I did here. I think I went with the background color, and then I went with colors to match the background. And honestly, I was really kind of inspired by a couple of dogs that I know. My daughter's dog, and then my son's dog. So very whimsical. That's not what they look like.
What about my dog?
I know. You know what? I have to do a little
My
one.
horrible dog.
Well, you know, your brother was watching the dogs, and every time I talked to him, he'd have to hang up and run after one of them because usually his dog would take off. So you know, when I saw this, I said, oh, I got to do those dogs. And then I just, you know, used them for inspiration.
Why does that look like water paint to me? It looks like watercolor.
It does look a lot like watercolor. Well, if you look at some of these papers that I have,
So is that the head start of what we're working on today?
Yeah, so you see the orange on this outfit,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was an outfit. And
Right?
I just cut it up. And in this particular fashion magazine, a lot of the colors, are in the same family. So they kind of coordinate, and they
So
have great backgrounds.
you're just getting color ideas from the magazines?
I'm using the magazines for the color. Yeah, first you get the idea. First
Right.
you just kind of think, what's appealing to me today? You know,
Mm-hmm.
what's attracting me? But it was the oranges and the light colors that attracted me
Can I see the
when I
dogs
started this.
again?
I'm
Can we
sorry?
see can we see the dogs? Can I see it again? Okay, so that's Ellie and Max.
Yeah. Well, it's not Ellie and Max, but I use, Ellie and Max for my inspiration for colors.
Oh, but it's
Does that make
not.
Yeah, because, it's just an inspiration for the colors, because Ellie is like a reddish
Right.
gold, and then Max is
Yeah,
like,
I can see it.
the more darks. Now, I could have done like, more browns and blacks, but I think what I'm going to do is blues and, just something darker.
Yeah, Max is black and gold.
Yeah, like a golden brown.
Yeah,
Yep.
like black. Yeah, or like black
Yep.
and rust color.
Yep. So this is what the gel medium looks like inside. And I'm going to take some out and put it on my lid rather than sticking the whole thing, keeping the paintbrush in there because I don't want to contaminate this whole jar. It's not that cheap. Lasts a long time.
That's
Um,
stuff you use for decoupage.
we use it for that. You could probably use decoupage glues.
Is that like
Um,
Hodgepodge glue? Or what is that stuff?
yeah, I guess the Mod Podge glue. I don't know if that yellows over time.
Well,
But we have this.
what are you using?
What am I using? It's
Yeah.
called a gel medium.
Oh, okay.
Uh, you can blend it.
Hmm.
This one has glass bead gel in it. This is my glass bead gel. I think I got the wrong one, but we're going to go with it. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
So
Okay.
you're actually cutting out magazine photos and gluing them on, or I'm just
Yep.
confused. Okay. Because you
Yep.
said it was collage. Okay, so I'm curious to see how this
So
will.
so you want to do your background first, right? So you paint this all up in the colors, whatever. You can
Okay.
do, whatever. Just go
With a
crazy with it.
with acrylic?
So it doesn't have to be any particular pattern or anything. Um,
With acrylic.
yeah, with acrylics
Okay. And that's like a
on
thick
watercolor paper.
watercolor paper. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, you want to use something. You could probably use cardstock, but you know what? Watercolor paper is made to absorb water, and your gel medium and all of that is wet. So you put this aside to dry, and then you start thinking about what colors you're going to use on your dog. So I'm going to use some blues. You know what? Here's where I think the scissors come in handy for me. So I've got some
What's
blue
the name of that
words
glue?
here.
What's the name of the
Got some
glue you
words
want
on
people?
blue that I just cut out. And now I'm going to cut parts of her out. Haphazard. Not doing anything. Now I have that cut out. I'm just looking for the color. There's a
Mm-hmm.
little blue here that I kind of like. I might rip that out. So here's one of the tricks that you need to know about paper. If you pull it towards you, you're going to have a white fringe on the edge, right? But if you pull it the other way, the white fringe ends up on the piece you don't want. So, that's something to think about when you're, ripping your paper. Yeah. So, and I have a garbage can nearby. So that's another blue. Let's see, what else do we have?
What's
Maybe this
the
one.
what's the glue that you recommend everyone to use? Because you said you grabbed the wrong one.
I'm sorry?
What is the glue for your collage that you recommend? What's the number one highly recommended glue for this project?
Oh, I like probably a decoupage glue.
Okay, I don't know if I'm spelling it right, but I'm putting it in the comments.
But we use the gel medium. It's made to go with acrylics.
Okay.
So people who have acrylics tend to have some gel medium.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, I ripped out some colors. Put that over there in case I need it again. There we go. Now on this side is a smaller pattern. So which one do I want? Go with, that's kind of a big pattern for this cup. But you know what? The sleeve on this might make a good collar. So maybe I'll just cut that sleeve out and see if I want to use that later. And then, yep, I'm just going to cut this out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm going to cut out this arm and maybe look for another arm. Might work for the legs. And again, I'm not going to throw this out because maybe I'll need or want, more paper. Okay, so this is black and this is a different blue. I kind of like this blue. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to need the black. I'll put that aside. And let's see. So look at all this nice purple. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I think I'll just keep that on the side. All right. So here's the dress that I cut for the dog's body.
I'm
Right?
trying to. So you sketched the dogs and then you colored them in a little bit.
Yes. So when this is dry, then you just sketch what you want to, where you want to make your picture of, right? So I could make this into a pumpkin. I could do it into a landscape. It could be, anything really. Just be inspired. This one has some, light peach colors in the background that could be used. Okay, so now I have these papers and I'm thinking that I'm going to use this for part of the body. So I'm just going to, measure it about, to about there. And I'm going to tear it. So again, I'm tearing towards me the piece that I want. Because then I don't have the edge. And so let's see. Do I like this? I kind of do. So I'm just gonna kind of get the size that I want. And I'm going to tear this smaller than it needs to be, and then I'm going to fill it in with the color that I want. So you can use a smaller pieces. You don't have to use a big piece like this. Yeah, that's kind of good. So what I do is I put my brush into water so that it's damp. I pull the water out on a piece of paper towel. And I'm going to turn this down so you can see what I'm doing better. Okay. So I just want that to be, over the edge. I've got a little white there I don't want. I'm going to pull that off. And yeah. So now I'm going to dip my brush into the gel medium. And I'm going to paint it on, where this has got beads in it. Huh. We'll see how this is going to work. And maybe I'll put a little bit on the back. And I'm just going to put that right there.
I was gonna say, you're a heavy crafter if you grab the wrong kind of glue for your project.
I know, right? I'm gonna, you know what?
That's
I
intense.
don't like the way this is working. I'm gonna use my. I know.
Your favorite glue, the glitter glue. Dun dun.
Glitter
dun.
glue. That's what I'm gonna use. Right. Let's
Oh
get
my
the.
gosh. That's so funny.
It's got too many beads on it. It doesn't want to. Okay. Well, let's try that again with the right glue.
Any crafting obsessed people in the audience feel the pain of grabbing the pain of grabbing the wrong type of glue?
I have met some of the best people in the aisles at Michael's.
I bet you have.
Oh yeah, we they opened up a Hobby Lobby by me, and everybody flocked to the opening. And I ended up going into Michael's, and there was nobody in the store but a few of us crafters. God, we had the best time. We were talking about we sharing pictures on our phones of our work, giving each other ideas.
It's like a whole underground club.
Yeah, it is. So now I'm putting this glue on top. So I painted it on the bottom and I put it on top. And
I was wondering, how are you going to get those magazine cutouts to fit in your sketch, inside your sketch? Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is I am going to decide how to fill that in. And what do I want to fill that in? I can use the pieces that I pulled off to fill that in. to where I want it. So let's try that.
How are you going to do the legs?
You know what? On the tall dog, I just tore them.
Wow.
So
Well,
the
tall
thing,
dog, which is Ellie, already has the magazines cutouts on there.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was paint.
No,
Oh.
no. It's all
Oh,
written paper.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
Wow.
that's why I'm saying you just want to have an outline. You don't want to get too specific at first. There are people who can get really specific, and Judy's one of them. You know, she can do faces and look at the detail of this.
That's all magazine cutouts.
That's all magazine cutouts. So what
Wow.
you're doing is you're using the
I
cutout.
thought it was paint. It looks like paint.
It does look like paint, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you cut them out in the way that you would put your brush stroke,
Wow.
right?
That's
So look at the
intense.
clouds.
Yeah.
Lots of different papers in the clouds.
Wow. And the sky is magazine?
No, the sky is the background painting. That's the acrylics.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So she had an idea that she was going to do a landscape. And,
Wow.
so she painted her background accordingly.
Beautiful. It came out. What about those little gold spots? Is that paint or magazine?
That's magazine.
Wow.
Yeah, those are actually flowers.
Wow.
So that's why, if you when you
That's
go through your
impressive.
magazines, turn it upside down and just try to pick out color. You don't need to be picking out you want to get color and design.
Right.
And then you go with that. So
Wow.
like if you're doing the floral, here's her floral. Okay. So if you look at her background here, she painted the background, but over
Mm-hmm.
here she used some paper to give a little
Mm-hmm.
contrast to the
Mm-hmm.
background because she thought it was just too stark up here. So it's really, it's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
You just go with what feels right. This one, right? She
Wow.
drew, and that became this.
Wow. That's all
Um,
magazine.
right. So you can see how she did the face like you would paintbrushes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah, the lips, so that's kind of what you do.
I like how she did the background is like text, like
Yes,
textbook text. Like that looks really cool too. I never would have thought of this stuff.
I know, right? And it makes you, how magazines pile up. So this is a good use for magazines.
Mm-hmm.
To hang on to. So I added another little piece here. I'm just going to fill in. Let me try some of this. And again, the part that I want is being pulled towards me, so I don't get that outline. Some people like that outline. But
Cool.
think about, this is something you could do with the kids. So
Mm-hmm.
get it like a basic, that's a little too much water, um, a basic shape, right? Like a fish or a pumpkin or an apple, and then just
Mhm.
let them um, fill it in with, just scraps of paper. You can also make your own papers. You know, you can just, Eric Carle, uh, the children's author, he does all the collage. Um, uh, Brown Bear, What Do You See? Is one of his books.
Oh, yeah, these children's books. Yeah, we've had those.
Okay, so if you look at those, he makes his own papers. So he just does like whatever in different colors, right? So again, like this orange one, right? If you do this on paper, then you can rip out what you need. And he might do splotches and,
Mm-hmm.
so what I like about this is
Oh,
it's
I
kind
didn't
of,
know. I didn't know that those were the author's illustrations in those children's books.
yes, Eric Call. Actually, I think Eric lived in Vermont.
Wow.
So did Norman Rockwell. He lived in Vermont.
Hmm. Wow.
And a lot of his well, almost all of his paintings, he used his neighbors as models, his
Nice.
family and his neighbors. So people grew up with him. So
Hmm.
I think I'm going to need the ear to stand out differently.
I wonder if you could do something like this with like leaves, like
Yes,
crumbled
wouldn't that
leaves.
be fun?
Yeah. Like real nature, like leaves and some other things.
You could, what? You could even, for the kids, you could even just, get a leaf and trace it so that you
Mm-hmm.
get an outline,
Right.
to fill in.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely in the fall we'll have a lot of leaves on the
yeah.
ground. A good autumn fall project.
Yep. So I think I'm going to put this in some water because it'll dry real quick. The gel medium, not so quick, but this does. Um, I'm going to use this printed blue for his ear.
I love that printed stuff in the background. That looks so cool.
You have Johnny was Johnny.
Johnny was.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
his magazines have great colors and patterns.
Yeah, I love them.
Okay, so I'm
That's a clothing designer that came up with their design, and their name is from a Bob Marley song. Johnny was a good man.
Oh, really?
So that's where they got the concept for the name.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just tearing this out to look like an ear. And okay, that's going to be a great ear. I'm just going to tear it and put it aside. Um, so that'll stand out as an ear. But
Cool.
I'm going to do his face. And what am
Like
I
if
going to
I
use?
did it, I feel like the sketch would get lost in the magazines and the papers.
Well, it can. Yeah. That's why you want to do, you just want to do a simple kind of outline until you get the hang of it. You can always draw it back in if you need to. Okay, so one of the ways that Judy um, uses to teach this is she gets graphite paper, not carbon. Carbon will not erase, but graphite paper will. And it comes in sheets that 8.5 by 11.
Hmm.
And so, if you find a picture like in a coloring book or, anywhere, when you drew and you want to get it on here exactly, what you do is you put the carbon, not the carbon paper, not carbon paper, graphite paper, graphite. It's pencil has graphite in it, and you can erase it. So you want
Oh,
graphite paper. You put the graphite side down onto your background, and you put the picture on top of it, and then you trace the picture. And when you pick both pieces up, you'll have the outline.
wow.
So that's graphite paper on the dog, right? Oh, I think he might have to get some. He might have to get some knees. Anyway, so what am I going to do for his face? I kind of like what goes good with this ear? I don't like that. I could do his face. I still have some of this in here, right? But then on the back side, I have black. But I don't think I want the black. I think I want the blue. So, do I have enough to do that? I don't know. But let's try. Because I like the way the ear kind of stands up to that. All right, so I'm going to use this piece. And I'm going to try and make his head. So what I'm looking at really is this shape. So I'm just going to tear out something about this shape. And let's see. I'm going to tear off this white border piece. I don't want that on there. Get that out of the way. Okay. And I'm not going to want her hand. So let's move that out of the way. So I'm pulling the piece that I want. And I'm just going to tear that off. Okay. So I want this to kind of be, all right, let's go with, so what I'm doing is I'm putting it down and I'm going to fold it over at the top of the head. So now I have the height that I want. And from there, yeah, from there I can just kind of get the shape that I want. And, all right, I'm going to do this in a couple of pieces because it's not cooperating with the big piece. So we're going to do it in small pieces. And, okay, kind of like that. Take my brush out of the water, hold it on the paper towel until the glossy stuff goes away. And then I'm going to put this on top. Okay. So now I'm going to just fill in the rest. So that's going to be his ear. So now I need to do his snout. I'm going to do his snout. And that looks kind of cool there. So let's try that. Yeah, kind of like that. But I don't think I want it so straight. So I'm just going to tear this edge off. And, oh, there's some white. I don't want the white if I can help it. Okay, So now I'm going to put this on there. And I can, you can, like with decoupage, you can, you can do layers. You can layer over, right? And where's my little ear? So when my ear goes on, it's going to go there. And he's going to get a thing. Okay. So now I want to do the back of his head. Try this. Oh, here's a smaller piece. Maybe I'll use that. Okay. So I want something I want something rounded. So I'm going to try and round this out. And keep rounding it. It's a little too big. Let's make it a little smaller. And the raggedy edges, lends itself to, I think, to the painting. So, that's why the tearing is pretty cool. Okay. All right. So now I can put the ear on. And that's going to start to pull that together.
Do your hands get all sticky?
Yeah, not really.
No.
I'm using the brush mostly,
Will that glue come off with regular soap and water?
It's water soluble. Yeah.
Okay.
So it will come off, I'm just using a little container of water.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Um, just so it
thinking, just to
doesn't,
wash it off your hands, or if it gets in your clothing or whatever, is it easy to wash
not a
off?
problem. Not a problem.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's the only thing is that it's pricey. The glue is pricey.
Everything's pricey nowadays.
I know. And you know what I'm having a hard time finding?
Apple is pricey, or bananas and apples.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, how do people, what's ridiculous?
Everything's ridiculous.
I was talking about this yesterday. I'm reading a book called Poverty in America. And it brought out the fact that waiters make $2.25. I forget. It's less than $3 an hour. It's $2 and it might be $2.50 somewhere around there. So we've had cost of living raises over the years. The minimum wage has gone up for regular people, but it hasn't for waiters, wait staff. And so they're not making enough money. It used to be a pretty lucrative job, but a lot of people are living in their cars who are working full time, sometimes 2 shifts, because of that. And I know that Disney also, because they're considered actors, they can get paid a lower wage. Yeah, so be nice to those Disney characters. They work hard for their money.
I can't imagine being in those outfits in the summertime. It's brutal.
Yeah.
You need like a fan in those costumes.
Some of them do have fans. I think the stormtroopers have some fans.
Well, I think minimum wage is $20 out here.
Yeah, well, it's not for your wait staff. This is the national minimum wage, the federal minimum wage.
Hmm.
Um,
Crazy.
so what I'm looking at is the dog's legs, the thin legs. And I think this piece here, if I do it right, I'm just cutting out this piece all along here. I'm getting a long strip that I think is going to make his front leg, or at least one of his front legs. We'll see how that works. Okay. All right, that's going to have to go up there, right? There. Yeah, Poverty in America. Gosh, it's a good book. It's a little sad though, you know. I have a hard time getting through it. All right, so that's going to be one leg. Not perfect. Doesn't have to be. And so what am I going to make the other leg out of? Can I make it out of this other side? I think I can. So, yeah. Oh, so I went to the dentist. And, you know, it's weird being this age. Um, and they want to do all these crowns,
Yes.
and I don't need them. And,
How do you conclude you don't need them?
well, I went to, I tried a new dentist, right? Because I thought the other one was trying to upsell me.
Right.
And she said, you know, that I needed a crown on this one tooth. And then, you know, everybody wants to get rid of the space between my teeth. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care about that. You know,
Right.
I've got a hole in my nose from the cancer. That's not going to bother me. So,
Gone this long with the space in your teeth. Why, you know, you can be worried about it now at this point of your life?
exactly. And, you know, so they want to sell you the Invisalign. I said, well, okay, so what does that entail? Well, you know, for a year, you got to, you know, 22 hours a day, you got to keep these things in and you can't take them out except to eat and brush your teeth for a year. If it works, could be longer, could be a year and a half. Okay. Then when you're done and your teeth are in the right place, and I don't have a problem. My bite's not off. You know, there's nothing, you know, I'm not grinding any teeth down or anything. It's, you know, just aesthetics. And then every night you have to put this, you know, one in at night
Yeah, you have to sleep with it.
forever.
Yeah.
You know,
I know some people that have tried it. They seem to be happy with it, but I don't know. They want me to get two crowns where I just have fillings, and I'm like, can't they just do the fillings? Why do they have to do a whole crown?
right, right. Well, that's what they're doing. They're trying to take out the fillings before they need to be taken out. Proactive. She called it proactive. I've had these fillings in since I was a kid.
Oh, you
You
have the
know,
amalgam.
yeah. So anyway, so she started yelling at me. I said,
Wow.
why do I need all these crowns? And she says, well, um, because you've got all those deep fillings and stuff. And then, you know what? And then if they take that out, I might need a root canal. This tooth is not bothering me at all. It, you know, it could break.
Do you have
Okay, well, if it breaks,
decay?
then we'll deal with, getting a crown. Um, or whatever.
But do you have any decay?
The one that I had done up here, I've got a temporary, and that had some decay. And that's what I'm saying. I went to this other doctor, and she wanted me to do that one, and then she wanted to do another one, and I didn't want to. So I said, let me find another dentist who's not trying to upsell me when I go to this dentist, and they're worse. And then she's yelling at me. So I yelled back at her. I said, that's a lot of money. And she left the room.
Well, if you have no decay, I don't understand what the issue is.
Right.
If you have decay, I understand they have to do this, that, and that, A, B, C, and D. But if there's no
Right.
decay, you're not in pain, there's no abscess, what's the problem?
And then see, and on the X-ray, you could see that the nerve, is not too far away from. So if you take that filling
Oh, you
out,
start digging
it
in
could
there,
aggravate that
you're
whole
gonna need
nerve
a new,
thing.
you're for sure gonna need a root canal. If you start digging
Yeah.
in there, you're gonna be in so much pain.
You know what? Here's
Yeah.
the crazy part. I don't remember getting,
Well, no
because
one's doing amalgam.
I did have a root canal in the back, and I don't remember getting it. It was a long time ago, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
It's probably in that part of the brain that childbirth is in.
Block
Like
it
you
out.
forget. Yeah. All right. So back to this. So now I have my 2 legs, like I did my ears, right?
Yeah, we got 1 minute left for the
Oh
hour.
no. Okay. Um. So let me get my marker out, and I'm gonna go to the orange dog, because that's dry. And so I'm gonna figure out where the nose is, right?
Oh.
And I'm gonna just color in a nose with a marker. And then I'm gonna cut a little mouth. And now let's see, where's his eye? It's gonna be up here by her, up by her ear. Can you see the eye?
Yeah. Now
So
it
now
looks
it's
like
starting to
a
look
dog.
more like a dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And give her a few eyelashes. And I think the mouth needs to be bigger. I'm just gonna fill that mouth in with a little bit of a smile. Yeah. Okay. I guess you just have to be brave. Okay. And so
I think
I'm
you
going
just
to
have to
outline.
you really have to be an artist. Like, I don't think I could do all that.
Sure, you could.
Well, that's what people that play, classical guitar, they make it look easy. You make this look easy.
Oh, you'd be
I don't think
surprised.
I don't think it's easy for everyone.
I probably should have done like an apple or something, but I wanted to finish this.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the ear outlined a little bit better. Now I could use like some more acrylic paint in a darker color, or colored markers to like kind of do shading there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But some of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to put like some little jewelry on the feet.
Maybe you could, how many more minutes realistically do you think to finish it? Because we're
I could keep going.
hour. Okay. Well,
So,
maybe you could post the final results onto the live stream when it's all done.
okay, I could probably do that.
Hi, Julie. We're just about to end it.
So here's the white marker, right? And so I'm just gonna do some jewelry. And maybe I'll do some fun.
Jewelry for Julie.
So look at the leg on the on Ellie, the orange dog. You see the spirals
Hmm.
and the jewelry. So you can just keep going like this.
Okay.
And add design in.
No worries, Julie. It's fine.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch the replay. But we are past the hour. So,
Okay, honey.
what are
You
you
know,
doing next month for July? Any
in July. July? I don't know. What's in July?
4th of July?
Yeah, but we'll be past that. You know what? Maybe we'll do some cards.
Well,
I need
summertime.
to.
A lot of summer. A lot of people going to the beach. A lot of people taking vacations, cruises. You know, it's summertime, so people are out and about
Yeah.
doing all kinds of things.
Okay.
Oh, it's Julie's birthday in July.
Oh, happy birthday, Julie.
I've been saying we need to do a giveaway.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I have some gently used, previously loved stuffies to give away. I have 2 bags of them.
Uh-huh.
And they're really cute. Some of them I don't want to get rid of. They're really cute.
I know.
Those supposed to be a
You know
firecracker.
what? Take a picture of them and we can put them into an album. Oh, you know what? Before we go, I just wanted to show you this. I saw this yesterday and I thought this would make like a good Father's Day card. So what you do is you take a pencil and you write the word D A. You go right over the tape. This is an idea. You said, you know, we should do something for Father's Day. So you do this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do this, right? And then so you would use your markers or whatever to color this in. So it becomes, you know, a little bit 3D. And the kids could
What is
do that.
that blue stuff? Is that blue tape? What is
That's a
that blue?
piece of painter's tape.
Okay, okay.
So here's the thing about painter's tape. The tape they sell, you know, for artists is expensive. But you can get this painter's tape in Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. And if you take it, because it's pretty sticky, if you just take it and put it on your clothing for a sec, and then take it off, it's less sticky. Right? So when you take it off, you see how the D is open?
Yeah.
So, but before you take it off, you can put this back on and I'll show you. You can take your marker
Mm-hmm.
And you can go all the way across on the top and all the way across on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
so that when you take it off, and you can write your message in here. Dad,
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
I love you all the days. And then I had a
That's
picture of your dad somewhere. I lost it.
mm.
Maybe I'll collage it on. Anyway, so I had this idea of collaging a picture that I had cut out of your dad and,
Oh,
putting it there. And then you can, put a background paper on your card and you've got a nice Father's Day card.
hmm. Nice.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Simple,
Very good.
fun. You can use masking tape, but again, put it on your clothing a couple of times so that it comes off easier,
Hi,
if,
Lorraine.
if that makes
Lorraine
sense.
just made it. Lorraine,
Um,
we're trying to end it, but mom keeps going.
Mom, keep going. I can't stop, honey.
She won't stop. She's on a roll.
I'm on a roll. Yeah.
The
I'll tell you, I
eyeball.
haven't been feeling too creative, so this has been really good. Thank you.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And
I,
thanks for everybody for watching. And I hope that inspires you. Um, we'll have to
yeah,
come up with something for July. I'm thinking something for the beach.
yeah. I think I would
Maybe.
say there's well, we'd be past prom season right now. There's a lot of proms. I've seen. Uh, if you go to Balboa Park, you see all these beautiful teenage girls walking around with prom dresses and quinceanera dresses. Just
Oh, isn't
all
that
the
the best?
prom stuff going on the last few weeks here. So, and I imagine the rest of the country as well. So,
Yeah.
uh,
And then
proms,
weddings are coming up.
yeah, beachy stuff, yep,
Beachy
seashells.
stuff.
So anything with
Seashell.
seashells, yeah. Lorraine says she loves
Yeah.
stuff.
I'll have to think about that.
Um,
And I have a package that I have to put. I bought about a lot of stuff to send the kids. Um, that I got to get in the mail, and for them to start the summer off with a lot of projects.
oh, Julie said palm trees, seashells,
I have a friend who actually does acrylics, and
crab.
then
Yeah, I love crabs. That reminds me of like Nantucket, Maryland.
mhm. Well, she glues real sand
Oh,
onto
that's
her
cool.
paintings if she does a beach scene, and people love that.
Yeah, that's cool. But messy. I bet you have to do it outside.
Yeah.
Messy.
Or if you have a good plastic tablecloth, you can corral it, pick it up, and take it out. Um, yeah, you can either use cut up a shower liner. You can get those fairly cheap, but also Joann's will sell it by the yard. I think Hobby Lobby does too, and you can get it in different thicknesses. Um,
Yeah.
I like it because it's heavier and it stays down. At Art Buddies, we use a lot of those dollar store ones that are very thin and blowy. Does the job. You can also
Yeah.
use newspaper. Um, but yeah, I'm sending them kids some paint, acrylic paints that I think they'll love, and
Okay.
some projects for them to do. You know what? I bought them initials for each one of the kids, and I thought they could collage onto those initials this way,
Okay.
right? Um, I thought
Hmm.
that would be a fun
Yeah.
project for them to do, and that way they could, make it their own. They could do it in a color. They could, do it in all things that they like. Um, whatever they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
paint it, glue it. Be interesting. It's always fun to see what they come up with because they're just so much better at ideas. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we went a little overtime and we started a little bit late, so
Yeah.
it's okay. We'll call it a wash. And next, let's see. Then let me look at my calendar here. The next show will be July the 5th. So it'll be the day after the 4th of July. Friday, July
Okay.
5th will be the next show.
July
So
5th. Okay.
So we will see. Patty will do some thinking and think about what she's going to do. Something
You
summery.
never know.
We
You
never
never
know.
know what's going to come up. What I'm going to be inspired from and by. Yeah.
Yes. And happy birthday, Julie.
Happy birthday.
I'm sure,
Yes.
yeah, I'm sure I'll say happy birthday again before
29
your birthday.
again.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching.
Bye. Thank you. Love you all.